There are hundreds of thousands of products on Amazon like this grocery item right here that we can actually buy on sale for about $12 after coupons and sell it on Amazon for $31. Just this one example will make me $8 in profit per sale, and in this video I'm going to show you the entire step-by-step process to making sure that you find at least one profitable product every time you sit down to work on your Amazon business. And whether you're brand new to selling on Amazon or you've already made thousands of dollars in profit, you're going to learn something new in this video. Because most Amazon sellers are overthinking the best way to find profitable items like this. Just so you can see another example of profitable items that you can sell on Amazon. Here's like a cup that I bought a while back selling on Amazon, spent about 800 bucks on these cups and made a little over $1,000 in profit by selling this item. So hopefully you can see that there's a lot of opportunity for us to buy items at half or less of what we plan to sell it for on Amazon. And it all starts by going to a simple starting point like this. For you at home excited to source your first profitable product, what you need to do as an essential step one is to open up SellerAmp. You can get a 2-week free trial down below. You can start following along as we source. I think that's a really smart idea. And then we also need an item to start from, right? So if you are brand new, you can use this exact same item. I chose this item as an example because it is a brand that is sold at popular retail stores like Vitacost. You can also open any retail store listing like Great Value or Target's Up and Up. All of those brands have listings on Amazon. And what that means is when I scroll down to the offers tab on SellerAmp, I can see all of the other sellers. And in this case, it seems like some smaller sellers. You can see this person has no feedback. This person's got a little 6 feedback right there. So it seems like new Amazon sellers are having success on this item, which means that you can do the exact same thing and have success selling the products that they've already successfully sourced as well. We don't need to stop with just this one profitable example. We can use this profitable example to source basically an infinite number of profitable leads. And let's just go ahead and jump in here, because my favorite way to find new opportunities to sell on Amazon is to open up these storefronts and then really just zeroing in on some of these brands that I've never personally sourced before. So I've never really sold this Flourish brand before, but I want to learn about it, right? So let's learn this brand together and see if it's a good profitable opportunity. So what I need to do to figure that out is to Google this item. So basically SellerAmp is just going to copy paste that for me. So I want to go ahead and start opening up some of these options here. So it seems like Vitacost might have them. We could try the brand themselves, also have a website. Here's just like directly to the listing on Vitacost, where like we were just looking at, we know there's a sale going on today because you can see there's this 20% sale. So there's probably going to be a similar sale. Yeah, so we can see this is also 20% off today. So maybe a good opportunity for us to look into. I can also check the brand's website directly and see if they have any coupons or sales or anything like that. Let's see. So it seems like protein pancakes, something like that. These sell for about $7.19. And the other thing to think about when you're sourcing products, the vast majority of items that are the best ones to sell on Amazon, especially, are made profitable. You're not typically going to find a lot of items where the price is already profitable without doing any kind of extra legwork. So just keep that in mind. You need to do things like checking coupon codes. So Capital One Shopping here is showing me basically a bunch of opportunities. Probably these are affiliate codes. I would bet that people are driving traffic to this website and getting their audience a 10% coupon. I don't think that's going to be enough because we needed to buy 2 of these for $7.66. And it seems like the cheapest place we're going to be able to get these is probably from Vitacost here, keeping in mind this coupon code. So what we can do is just check. And now that we know we can get these for, what's that going to be, about $5.20-ish per unit, if I'm doing my math correctly, $5.50, somewhere around there. We need to just look for any of the products where the max cost is within that range, because it seems like on a lot of these the price has gone down a little bit and maybe they used to be profitable and they're not quite as profitable anymore. What we're looking for though is actually something like this, because you can see, remember we were buying this for about $5.50 each, and now we have a 3-pack where if we can buy it for $17.50, then we're going to make our ideal profit. And by the way, this is after sales tax and shipping costs and all those extra smaller expenses that can add up. I'll show you that in just a second, but I think we might have a profitable item on our hand because we've got this buttermilk pancake mix. This is buttermilk pancake mix. Okay, cool. And this is $7.09 plus a 20% coupon code. So I can go $7.09 minus 20%, figure out what that is. Yeah, so it's about $5.70. So my math's a little bit off there, but I think it should still be okay. So $5.70 times 3, we're buying these for 17 bucks, and we're actually going to make about $6 in profit per unit on these. ROI is about 35%. I think that's great for the grocery category, especially because there's no returns allowed. So our margin is always going to be nice and protected on that. And it seems like there might also be some other opportunities here as well. And the really nice part is that this listing is a pretty popular listing. It's selling about 7,000 times a month. So as long as we can get these sourced profitably, then we should be making some money. Let's see. Here's another birthday cake mix. Those are the same price. So I don't remember our total cost there. Yeah, redoing my math there, we're at $17.01. And this is actually even more profitable. You can see this is 41 bucks. This is $13 profit per unit. It makes it an 80% ROI. Right away, we've hit on a pretty good opportunity within this brand. Here's 2 more versions of this. And this one would actually probably be profitable as well. But you can see the best sellers rank is very high. It's like 400,000. Typically, I want to source like the top 1 to 200,000 sales rank. The closer that number is to 1, the closer it is to the best selling item in that category. And SellerAmp will also tell us how much that sells. Here in this case, you can see it sells literally 1 unit a month. Nothing too crazy there, but we did find 4 different items here, all of which I would probably test 10 to 20 units of. And at those prices we're looking at currently, that's going to be a pretty solid profit, right? Because just this one's about 130 bucks in profit. If we test 10 units, which I don't think we'd have any problem selling. Then we have 3 other versions that I think were a little bit less profitable, but we can call it at least 50 to 60 bucks profit per 10 unit test order. You know, here within, I've been recording for 8.5 minutes and we are already a couple $100 in profit. So it's not too bad at all. Just for the sake of example, let's check out some of these other brands here, because obviously you're not going to make profit on every single brand. So I don't want to set a false expectation that you can just pop open items and you're instantly finding lots of profitable stuff, because that's not the case, right? You do have to learn how to get good at finding items that have specific coupons going on and what brands are good. And that's all part of the natural learning process. So let's go ahead and check out some other categories. So looking at this brand, I can see this is probably an example of one of those brands that is not so good of an opportunity, because you see how the max cost is like $1 on all of these. We're not really going to be making too much money. Yeah, we're buying this for $9. And especially since we need to make sure that on SellerAmp, we've already baked in all of the extra costs. So just so you guys can see on that last item, we have about 60 cents a pound baked in for shipping. We've got a miscellaneous fee, which is the sales tax. And then I always like to just include a little bit of extra money for the poly bag, the box, whatever you got to buy. This brand, probably not such a great opportunity. Let's see what other brands they're having success on. So that one might have sold out like since I opened this link here. This one's not super fast seller. Keep in mind, you can also just look through everything that's in a seller's storefront. You don't have to go brand by brand. That's just typically how I like to do it. And it seems like we've probably found the best stuff in this person's store. It seems like the rest is somewhat slower selling and just that pancake brand there. But yeah, there's a really good opportunity. Let's check out a little bit more just to see if we can find some variety. So we've got Orbis. A lot of this sells a little slow. For my personal taste, I like to buy things that sell at least 30 times a month. So those are gonna be a little bit slow. We can always check and see if the profit is really high on those. Let's see. Some of these are like 20. With these items that sell a little bit slower, I'm usually only gonna buy it if it's like really obviously profitable. Let's see. Costco has them for 14. I assume we can get like the more basic colors. But yeah, we need to buy those for 10. So I'm not gonna waste too much more time there. Let's see. We've got some teas here. This one's a little bit more interesting because it's another one of those kind of like multi-packs and bundle listings, things that are just like combining different products together. Those can be pretty solid, honestly. Let's see if this is an example of that, because I see basically if we can get these teas for a little over $2 a unit, then we are making money. Let's go to Google Shopping. Let's see. So $3.19 at Vitacost. Maybe we can get those cheaper. Let's see. Webstaurant, which is like a wholesaler of sorts, has them as well. Let's see. Walmart has them for $3.34. So we are going to need some kind of coupon code, something like that. Let's see. 120 case. To me, this probably means that 6 of these boxes here. I can't be super certain. We get 20% off on those. We can do our math on that. I'm not sure that's going to be good, but might as well check. So taking that $3.19 per unit we need to be paying, let's multiply that by 12, and then let's subtract our 20% coupon. So do minus 20% right there. And that is actually high enough profit per unit for me, but the ROI is a little bit low. Sometimes with grocery, you could consider something like this. Again, there's no return, so the risk is very low. And the other thing I'm seeing on this item is that price is pretty consistent. It seems like the price does hop up and down a little bit, but it seems like there's always sales happening at like this $55, $56 number. And there has been since May, so several months of stock. Let me know in the comments if you would take action on something like this. The big thing to remember when you're new is not to get so hung up like looking for the perfect items when you might have something that's already profitable sitting right in front of you. But let's see on these like chai teas. These seem a little bit more profitable just looking at them out of the gate here, because we are selling these for, I think there was no buy box. So these are selling for $27 FBA. Pretty solid, honestly. And then we can get these at Walgreens for $3.50. And it seems like we can also get a 20% coupon because this is a regular priced item. It's not on sale or anything like that. So we're getting these for $3.50 a unit at Walgreens at least. We can always check other sources times 4. And yeah, that's profitable. And then we add a coupon, we make it even more profitable. So yeah, there's another profitable item. We just need to buy 4 of those right there. I think this price might have been even better, to be honest, though. Just make sure tea bags, 20 units. Yeah, so this one's going to be even better. And I personally like shopping at Vitacost a little bit more just because they're very bulk friendly. I've been able to buy a lot of quantity from them on items where I want to go really deep on it. And this could be an example of something that's pretty solid, right? When you're new to selling on Amazon, I wouldn't recommend buying like thousands of something hoping that it sells. In this case, you have to keep in mind that these like 10,000 sales are being shared between all the different versions of this tea, which in this case is a lot of them. But it does mean that a lot of people are looking at this listing. And if you want to go in here and get that 4-pack of tea, then there's going to be customers on this listing for sure. But I say that don't go in here and be like, well, this sells 10,000 times a month. Again, when you hover over that, it says estimated between all variations. So just keep in mind that you need to place a little bit of a test order, see how fast it's actually going to sell. sell, and then you can always restock a lot bigger after you know how fast it actually sells. So on this, I'd probably place another like 10 unit test order. So there's another like $80 in profit that we've been able to find, plus maybe a little bit more if this is something that you would personally buy. For me, I usually stick to like 25% ROI on grocery. This one is really stable. So again, I'm curious on your thoughts down below. But here within about 15 minutes of recording, we were already able to find 4 or 5 very solid winners, counting all the pancakes and the teas and that kind of thing here. And by the way, just because I hear this as an excuse all the time, I know this held me back as an early Amazon seller as well, was not understanding that new Amazon sellers can actually sell big name brands. So in order to get approved to sell like this tea brand, for example, all you would need to do is get 10 units from Vitacost. At least 10 units is typically what Amazon's going to require. When you go to list this item on Amazon, you'll want to list the item on Amazon through Boxem. That's also how you'll make FBA shipments, make FBM listings, all that kind of thing. And it will tell you if you're gated or not. If it does say you need to request approval, all you need to do is submit that invoice where you already got this item profitably. And in this case, we're selling like 4 packs. So we'd have well over 10 units of this that we're ready to submit to Amazon. And just make sure that on that invoice, you have your business address. That's the main thing they're going to check, and make sure that you actually bought this item, making sure that it's legit, all that good stuff. And then as mentioned, once you've actually bought the item, you've got it ungated, all that kind of thing, you'll just go ahead and ship it off to Amazon FBA. I have a full step-by-step guide on making your first Amazon FBA shipment if you're ready for that part of the process. And for my business, I use Boxem to take care of all the shipping because it just makes it a lot faster, and I'm able to take advantage of 2D barcodes, which are actually only available in softwares like Boxem. And for my business and lots of other people, we're seeing our items check in and sell a couple days faster on average. When you're in a business, it's about moving your money as fast as possible. That's just one thing that you want to be taking advantage of there. And you can also try Boxem for free for 2 weeks down below if you're serious and ready to get started on Amazon. But hopefully this was a valuable crash course on how to find profitable stuff to sell in your Amazon store. If you have any questions, drop those down below. Happy to chat with you guys. And if you want to show some love for completely free, if this helped you out, just hit that subscribe button to help me hit my goal of 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. But I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you want to see the next step of the process where we ship these products off to Amazon as fast as possible, go ahead and click this video right here.